I'm working on the performance viewer for OBS. For OBS 31, they have some background work done so that the performance of sources can be queried. So it's only it's only made in OBS, but it has no user interface yet. So I'm trying out the API that is there to use it and finding some bugs and making a user interface to see the performance of sources. Would this allow us to see what scenes are very taxing on our PC? Yes. It lets you see, for example, this scene, how much it uses, because it's the scene that is active. You can see it uses a CPU and GPU. The other scenes that are not active are not using any of that. And if I open this color source so that this shader starts rendering, then you will see that here that shader, I especially picked one that uses a bit of resources, and you can see that here. And you can have it grouped by scene like I have now, or if you just want to see what's using the most resources, you can set it to all and then order by GPU, and then you can see that the shader and a blur filter I use are the ones that use the most resources at the moment at my PC. So if I disable the shader, it should go down here as well, and I'll put it back at scene, and then sort by name so that it doesn't move around that much. It's back to 0, so that's correct. I made it now that you can do it on scene base so that you can see what's all in the scenes, but you can also just select the source and then you get all the sources, not the scenes, only the real inputs, but you still can see the filters that are on the source that might influence the source rendering. And you also can do this all, and then you see all sources, even the private hidden sources. And I made that you can sort on the columns so that you can see what's using the most CPU and the most GPU. You can order by source type if you want. For media sources, you can see the input frames per second and the output. This source is now not shown, so it has 0 output, but in theory if I switch to this scene, then it's me there, but it's a video, but it's outputting in the frame rate that my OBS is set to. You can see here in the bottom right, my OBS is set to 30 frames a second, so that although the video is 60 frames per second, it's outputting 30 frames per second. And you can see all the things it uses. For example, you can see the move transition is using quite a bit of resources, but that is mainly rendering everything that is needed. So because it's the active scene transition, it's rendering, because if I change this to cut, it should, and then if I reset, then you see there's nothing going on in the move transition anymore. So we have a column to see which ones are active. The enabled column does not do anything for transitions, but for filters you can see what filters are enabled and if that changes anything to the render time. In theory, the ones that are not enabled should also have 0 render time, and they can have tick time, as you can see here.